Welcome to this explainer. So, you wake up, grab your phone, scroll for a bit, and suddenly it hits you. You're just living the exact same day all over again, right? It's a completely common feeling. Well, today, we're going to uncover the fascinating neuroscience behind why we so often feel stuck in a rut. And more importantly, we're going to look at exactly how you can rewire your physical brain to create an entirely new personal reality. If you've ever felt like you're just stuck on a treadmill of the same routines and the same results, you are definitely going to want to pay close attention to the concepts we're breaking down right now.
Let's kick things off with a pretty wild number, 60,000 to 70,000. That is the massive amount of thoughts the average person has every single day. I mean, it's an absolutely staggering amount of mental processing happening in the background, constantly shaping how we perceive everything around us, literally from the moment we wake up to the second we fall asleep.
But here's the kicker. A massive 90% of those daily thoughts are exactly the same as the ones you had yesterday. Just let that sink in for a second. You are essentially running on the same mental treadmill today that you were on yesterday. You're having the same reactions, worrying about the very same problems, and repeating the same internal dialogue. And this is exactly why your life, for the most part, remains largely unchanged day after day.
To really get why this matters, we have to understand one foundational rule. Your personality creates your personal reality. It is not the other way around. And your personality basically just consists of three simple measurable things: how you think, how you act, and how you feel. Think about it. If you wake up thinking about a stressful job, act grumpy while pouring your morning coffee, and feel anxious all morning, well, your reality stays perfectly stagnant. You're just signaling the exact same reality into existence.
Let's dive into Section 1, the thought-emotion loop.
So how does this predictable reality actually get built? It all starts with a single thought. Let's say you think a self-critical thought right after waking up. That thought naturally leads to a choice, like choosing to cancel plans and isolate yourself. That choice dictates your behavior, maybe staying on the couch all evening, which in turn creates an experience of extreme loneliness. And finally, that experience produces an emotion in your body, like sadness. It's a highly precise, step-by-step chain reaction that happens completely on autopilot.
But wait, the chain reaction doesn't just stop with the emotion. Those resulting feelings actually serve as a powerful psychological payoff. They drive you to think the exact same thoughts all over again just to sustain the feeling. You feel sad, so you generate more self-critical thoughts to match that sadness, effectively locking yourself into a continuous, unbroken feedback loop. The trap springs shut, and boom, you are caught in the cycle.
Which brings us to Section 2, hardwiring the old self.
Over time, this loop goes from being just a simple daily habit to an actual physical reality in your brain. It perfectly illustrates a core neuroscience principle you might know as Hebb's Law. Nerve cells that fire together, wire together. When you repeat the exact same thoughts, choices, and actions for years on end, you literally, physically hardwire those patterns into your brain's architecture. They become automatic pathways. They become your entire identity.
Because of this intense hardwiring, the data shows something honestly pretty staggering. By the time many people reach age 35, they're essentially running on autopilot. They operate from a set of unconscious programs, deeply ingrained habits, memorized behaviors, emotional reactions, in astonishing 95% of the time. That leaves a tiny, fragile 5% for your conscious, waking mind to actually try and steer the ship.
Let's look at why this makes change so tough in Section 3, the body's hidden resistance.
If our conscious mind is only 5% of the equation, it is absolutely no wonder that lasting change feels so incredibly difficult. We really have to recognize the true nature of our emotions here. Fundamentally, emotions are just chemical records of past experiences. When we rely solely on how we feel to make our daily decisions, those familiar emotions keep us anchored firmly to our current circumstances. We're literally trying to navigate the future using a map drawn by the past.
This leads to a bizarre, kind of frustrating phenomenon where the body effectively becomes the mind. Have you ever found your hand reaching for a piece of junk food, or maybe you're aimlessly doom scrolling on your phone before your conscious brain even gave the order? Yeah, that's your physical body, which has been so deeply conditioned to the familiar past, completely taking over the role of the mind. It's memorized the routine better than your conscious self has.
Now, if you consciously try to break that routine and change things up, your body actively fights it. Ironically, your body actually prefers familiar feelings, even really negative ones like guilt, anxiety, or unhappiness, simply because it knows exactly what's coming.
To your conditioned cells, familiar misery actually feels safer and more predictable than the total discomfort of the unknown future. Your biology just naturally resists uncharted territory.
Compounding this problem is the fact that many of us are basically hypnotized into defining our reality strictly by what our physical senses can immediately see and feel. Think about going to the gym for the first time. When you don't see instant, tangible results in the mirror after one single workout, you experience this sense of separation. Your senses tell you, hey, nothing is happening, and because that feels uncomfortable, you immediately run right back to your old, familiar emotional state.
So how do we fix this? Let's move to Section 4, creating a new reality. How do we actually break out of this biological trap? Well, the fundamental rule here is profound, but really simple. You cannot just tweak your daily routine, you must literally become someone else. Because your personality creates your personal reality, you have to entirely change your personality from the ground up to see a meaningful shift in your life. You have to step entirely outside of your old self.
Now, this kind of profound transformation doesn't happen just by wishing for a better day or setting a flimsy New Year's resolution. It requires 3 highly actionable, science-based steps: mental rehearsal, signaling new genes, and strict self-regulation. Let's look at the actual mechanics of how you can put these into practice.
The very first step is mental rehearsal. Think of an Olympic athlete visualizing a complex routine on the track before they even take a single physical step. By intentionally rehearsing a new way of being, you actually begin to physically install new neurological hardware. You're firing new pathways before the event actually happens in real life, turning your brain from a dusty record of the past into a literal map to the future.
And this is where the neuroscience gets absolutely mind-blowing. Amazingly, if you emotionally embrace a future possibility every single day, your unconscious body literally does not know the difference between the actual external event and the emotion you're fabricating by thought alone. Let me say that again. As far as your nervous system is concerned, the event is happening right now.
This incredible process does something called signaling new genes. In simple terms, think of your thoughts acting like little light switches, turning certain genetic expressions on or off. This is a field of science known as epigenetics. By combining a crystal clear intention with an elevated emotion, your body actually begins producing the proteins needed to physically look and feel as if the future experience has already happened. You're literally aligning your biology with your new reality before it even manifests in the physical world.
Finally, the vital tool that holds this whole thing together is self-regulation. You've got to become completely conscious of your unconscious programs. When those familiar, heavy feelings of frustration, guilt, or anxiety inevitably start creeping back in, you have to notice them. Catching yourself in the act of returning to the old self is a massive victory. It's the critical interruption that prevents you from sliding right back into the old loop, allowing you to actually choose a new path in real time. I want to leave you with a final thought to really challenge how you approach your day tomorrow. Ask yourself, are you defined by a compelling, elevated vision of the future? Or are you ensuring a perfectly predictable life by comfortably reliving the memories of your past? The power to completely rewire your brain, and therefore your reality, is entirely in your hands. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I'll see you next time.